Good morning, Operations Manager Stewart, Kreltszheim, CFA District 23, and welcome to March 2011's YouTube report. Really quiet summer for us across the patch. Certainly we've been involved in supporting the SES in floods, but overall fires and incidents across our district have been significantly down over previous years. But there's still a fair bit going on. Got a couple of opportunities coming up across our patch. Firstly, I've been across to all the groups, myself and the ops team, in relation to identification of radio black spots. Now, the Royal Commission identified that CFA and DSE had some black spots and have organised some funding to rectify those problems. Now, a black spot's an area where you cannot manage an incident from effectively. So it's not every gully, it's not every riverbank and every nook and cranny in the region. If you can logically reposition yourself into another area and still manage that incident and get comms back to your local group, that's not a black spot. We're talking mobile coverage only, not portable radios. Portable radios are utilised for fireground operations predominantly. Okay, so black spots are areas in your patch where you can't logically reposition yourself with your mobile radio and talk back to your group headquarters stroke level 2 ICC. Okay, so for the an example of that would be Chesney Vale now needs to talk back to Benalla Group. So can they reposition themselves into an area in the Chesney Vale Hills that comes back to Benalla? If not, identify that as a black spot. So the information that's provided to groups and brigades is there's a map like this. You obviously can't see the detail, but that's okay. The map has all the CFA and DSE sites across the patch, okay? And the green is the very conservative estimate of the coverage. Now, historically, for instance, Benalla might use channel 26 for their big fire coverage. In the future, that will be an incident management channel which they can use. Now, if they can't talk off 26, is there an alternative? CFA's got a site at Lerg on channel 20. Can they use that? DSE might have a site on Telecom Hill. Can they use that? So the job is for a brigade, and they will receive, all the groups and brigades have received some documentation, and it says their primary channel with some alternatives. So they can go and have a look at those alternatives, DSE and CFA sites, to see if that is effective. Now, if it's not, identify that as a black spot, write it down, circle it on a photocopy of a map book, and get it back into the district headquarters, and we can send that back into comms. So a really important project for us. There's a series of maps available too, which has got the individual sites only. This one's here is Mount Bellevue, 152 Incident Management Channel. It's a DSE site, and it actually gives the coverage of Mount Bellevue across the patch. So we want to get that information back by your group comms officers by the end of this month, the end of March. Okay, number two, it's been a big month for us regarding fire prevention. We're really launching into the brigades coming to the group forum and putting their fire prevention priorities out on the table, and then the group fire prevention delegates are prioritising them and are going to take that to the municipal fire prevention forums. Now, whether that's the fire prevention committee or the fire management committee, whatever it's called, they will take a consolidated view from CFA to that forum. So it's really important that you get those into your group delegates as soon as possible. This week on Thursday night we're having a DPC, District Planning Committee meeting, and that's going to be dedicated only to fire prevention matters. So we'll have a number of players along there to explain that process and fine-tune that process. But the next couple of weeks are really important for us in the fire prevention realm. The Deputy Chief Officer just recently put out an email in relation to emergency vehicle response. It's not a real big problem in District 23, but what we want to ensure that we don't have 3, 4, 5 vehicles heading to a job unnecessarily going code 1. Okay, so the Chief Officer's Standing Order, that's or SOP 12.04 states, where the initial code is determined to be code 1, the initial 2 responding CFA appliances shall respond code 1, and where at least 1 other CFA vehicle responds, consideration shall be given to the 2 closest appliances preceding code 1. So that means you get an initial response. Let's say in Benalla, it's an incident down on the freeway, and Benalla and Winton are responded with, let's say Chesneyville. Okay, now Chesneyville gets on the road, code 1. Benalla gets on the road, code 1, and then Winton gets on the road. It might be appropriate, because Winton's closer, to tell Chesneyville to downgrade to code 3 and Winton to go code 1. So it's really depending on the incident, but what I'm asking that the incident controller and crew leader, especially of the home brigade, make a judgment call. Does everyone need to go code 1, or can we reduce the risk to our people and to our community by downgrading? Okay, so just having that thought process in the back of your mind's really important. We've got a 150 odd pages, additional pages heading out to out to the group. Now, pages have been a part of our life for a long time now, and we may think that they're pretty simple because we know how to change the font, and we know how to change the tone, and we know how to navigate ourselves through the pages. But people who have pages for the first time may not. So it's really important that when captains and groups hand these pages out to brigade members, to new brigade members, that they go through a process of teaching them. What we'll do is we'll put something on CFA Connect and YouTube, just a rough rundown, and we'll also put that onto the group computers. So at Mansfield and Group Headquarters, on the computer will be the video explaining and PowerPoint presentation explaining how we use these pages, and we should ensure that our people are well trained so they know how to operate it off them. So it's nothing worse than, someone's got a big appointment, or they need to be at work early the next day and they don't know how to put their pager on silent, etc., or they're on night shift and they just want to be woken up for emergency calls only, and they don't know how to put the admin and non-emergency circuits on silent or off. So I think it's really important for our people and for response to fires of incidents. Last but not least, I'm going to implement, after talking to all the groups and the ops team, temporary turnout notice. Now, due to the weather conditions at the moment, normally in most instances we have 3 trucks at least going to grass and scrub fire at code 1. For grass and scrub fire code 1, I'm going to reduce that across District 23 to 2 tanker turnouts. Now, if a tanker doesn't turn out in the assigned period of time, whether it be 4, 8 or 15 minutes, we will escalate the next brigade as per normal procedures, but there will only be 2 trucks turning out as of tomorrow, Tuesday the 22nd of March. I'll instigate that temporary turnout notice. Now, what that means is that captains, brigades, crew leaders, if they feel that they need additional appliances, they need to call for them, okay? And call for them early. If you see some billowing smoke or whatever, or you think you're going to need some additional resources, call for additional tankers. But the initial response, grass and scrub fire only, will be 2 tankers. Okay, that's it for me for March. Thanks for your support during the fire danger period and the flood danger period as well, and we'll talk to you very soon.